My brother, you deserve the good things that you're currently experiencing. A lot of us guys, whenever something good happens, we're like, yo, what's going on? Who's pulling a trick on me? I'm expecting someone to come out and say it was a prank, you know? It's almost like you don't want to believe that you are on the receiving end of something good. Maybe you've been going through years of difficult experiences, and so when something good finally happens, you don't believe it's real. You're like, what? Really? This is happening to me? But I want you to give yourself the credit where the credit is due, especially if you've been working really hard. It shouldn't be a surprise, man. It shouldn't be a surprise. If you've been working hard towards something, you've been taking productive action, then when the result finally arrives, man, you saw it coming, first of all, but also celebrate it, man. Celebrate it. A lot of us guys give ourselves a tough time. We don't want to give ourselves any credit. And when something good happens, we never celebrate it. Celebrate it, man. Enjoy it. Buy yourself something nice. Go on holiday. You deserve it. You honestly do, man. I mean, I've had some of these experiences where I've been like, this is suspicious, man. What's going on? How the fuck did I just make this amount of money? Or, you know, it feels strange. But I want you to celebrate it and also become accustomed to this new level of success. And what I mean by that is, going forward, all you're going to do is collect one splendacious win after the other. Because you're a splendacious individual. You are a high performer. You are somebody that provides incredible amounts of value. And so you deserve it. Some of you guys, for example, in your business, you're not charging enough. Whether it's an agency that you run or coaching, whatever, you're not charging as much as you should. You don't recognize how incredible you are. And that needs to change going forward because you're brilliant. I know there's a lot of people out there that will try and downplay what you're doing and make it seem like you're stretching or you're being a little bit unreasonable with the pricing of your services or whatever. But if you're good, then the market determines your value. Don't listen to that one uncle that has never done anything with his life and is in a dead-end job, and don't let him discourage you and say, well, that's too expensive. Yeah, well, for you, because you're not a high performer. You're not somebody who's looking to achieve more in life. You're coasting. And so, of course, you're going to perceive it as expensive. It's the same people that say, oh, footballers shouldn't be paid this much money to kick a ball. Why? Why not? Why not? They garner so much attention. They're exceptional athletes. They have to maintain their physiques all year round. Right? And they are brands. Each player is a brand. And the money that they make for the clubs, it's worth it. Right? The club benefits, they benefit. And so, of course, they deserve to be making the money that they're making. Now, of course, there are footballers that are better than others. But that's just the game. Accept it. You know, eliminate pessimistic individuals. They can often make you feel like your accomplishment ain't shit. Now, there are people that will try and push you in life and say, hey, hold your horses, that was brilliant, celebrate it. But don't let this win slow you down and take you out of the game, because some people celebrate for too long. There's nothing wrong with celebrating, but some people will celebrate for too long. And then they start going backwards. Right? But don't let pessimistic individuals downplay what you've achieved. And if you ever notice that some of your friends, whenever you mention something good, they don't seem too enthusiastic about your achievement, and maybe they'll say a sly, indirect comment that diminishes what you've achieved. People like that, don't have them around you. You know, one of the characteristics of a true friend, and this is something that Jordan Peterson said actually, is that when you come to them with good news, they'll celebrate with you. And they won't bring up something that they did. Well, actually, I did something, and, you know, I achieved more or whatever. Because some people are like that. They're petty, man. They have no good intentions for anybody. All they want to do is just talk down and, deflate somebody. So make sure that the friends that are around you are like, yeah, fuck yeah, bro, amazing. You smashed it. You're doing really well. And you can tell when they're being genuine about it as well. They won't bring up something that you should have done or whatever. They'll be like, amazing, bro. That's incredible. All right? So, hey, man, celebrate your achievements, bro. You don't want to delay happiness for a future day. I've spoken about this before in my videos. I don't agree with the mentality of, when I have this much money, then I will celebrate. When I get to 30, then I will. Nah, man. First of all, you're not guaranteed tomorrow. You're not. What makes you so confident? It's almost arrogant to think, in 10 years what makes you think you're going to be there? Now, of course, we all hope to be alive in 10 years, but there's no guarantees. And so live today fully. Celebrate the small wins, the first subscriber, the first client, customer. Whatever it is that you're doing, celebrate it. Right? And it also pushes you when you do that. When you celebrate your small wins, it pushes you to want to achieve more and more. But when you make yourself miserable because you feel like it's too soon to celebrate, you'll burn out and you'll start resenting your work as well. All right? So I just wanted to comment on this, fellas, because I feel like there's a lot of guys that don't give themselves enough credit for what they've achieved. And I've spoken to some of these guys. Really incredible performers, man. High achievers. But for some reason, they don't feel like what they achieved was good enough. And I would also add as well, a lot of this will stem from childhood. How you were celebrated as a kid when you were growing up. Whether it was your school grades, your exam grades, or, if you achieved something in sports when you were young. Did your parents acknowledge that, or did they just brush it to the side? Because some parents are like that. They don't acknowledge the things that their kids have done really well, and they just ignore it. Brush it under the carpet, which I don't understand. This is your kid, your offspring. They share 50% of your DNA. Celebrate your fucking kid, man. You want your kid to be better than you. Every dad wishes for that. But unfortunately, you can't rewind time and go back and make your parents behave in a certain way. Just make sure that going forward, if you had a kid, you'll instill incredible self-confidence in them when they're very young, because your self-esteem is built in the first 8 years of life, which is why in the Roman Empire, they recognized that. That's why they would take kids from their parents when they were really young, because they knew that the first 8 years were critical. All right? So give yourself the credit. You've done really well. Keep moving, but don't feel guilty for celebrating. You've earned it. You've achieved an incredible amount. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a like. Comment, let me know what you think down below, man. Maybe share an achievement of yours that you felt like you didn't give yourself enough credit for. Let's talk about it. And if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. See you in the next one, fellas.